You're listening to the CyberWire Network, powered by N2K.
Secure access is crucial for U.S. public sector missions, ensuring that only authorized users can access certain systems, networks, or data. Are your defenses ready? Cisco's Security Service Edge delivers comprehensive protection for your network and users. Experience the power of zero trust and secure your workforce wherever they are. Elevate your security strategy by visiting cisco.com/go.sse. That's cisco.com/go/sse. Trump targets former cybersecurity officials. A senator blocks the CISA nominee over telecom security concerns. The acting head of NSA and Cyber Command makes his public debut. There's escalation of cyber tensions in the U.S. China Trade Relations. Researchers evaluate the effectiveness of large language models in automating cyber threat intelligence. Hackers at Black Hat Asia pwn a Nissan Leaf. A smart hub vulnerability exposes Wi-Fi credentials. A new report reveals router riskiness. Operation Endgame nabs SmokeLoader botnet users. Our guest is Anushika Babu, Chief Growth Officer at AppSecEngineer, joining us to discuss creative ways people are using AI. And the folks behind Flipper Zero get busy. It's Thursday, April 10th, 2025. I'm Dave Bittner, and this is your CyberWire Intel Briefing. Thanks for joining us here today. It is great to have you with us. Yesterday, President Donald Trump signed executive orders revoking the security clearances of Chris Krebs, former director of the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, and Miles Taylor, former Department of Homeland Security official. Both individuals had previously criticized Trump's administration. The president also directed the Department of Justice to investigate their actions during their tenure. Krebs had publicly refuted Trump's claims of election fraud in 2020, asserting the election's integrity, which led to his dismissal at that time. Taylor, known for his anonymous 2018 op-ed and subsequent book criticizing the Trump administration, had also faced the president's ire. These moves are part of Trump's broader effort to address dissent within his administration. It's hard to frame these moves as anything other than retaliatory, and noteworthy that not only did the president strip Chris Krebs of his clearance, but also everyone with a clearance at SentinelOne, the cybersecurity firm where Krebs is now employed. In the legislative arena, Senator Ron Wyden has placed a hold on the confirmation of Sean Planky, Trump's nominee to lead CISA. Wyden's objection stems from what he describes as a multi-year cover-up of significant vulnerabilities within the U.S. telecommunications sector. He insists that CISA release an unclassified report from 2022 detailing these cybersecurity shortcomings before proceeding with Planky's nomination. This action underscores the demand for greater transparency and accountability in addressing national cybersecurity challenges. Meanwhile, at a Senate hearing, lawmakers questioned Lieutenant General William Hartman, acting head of U.S. Cyber Command and the NSA, following the surprise firing of his predecessor, General Timothy Hogg. Senators from both parties voiced concern over the abrupt dismissal, calling it disrespectful and destabilizing. Though the hearing was brief and lightly attended, discussions touched on Cyber Command's modernization, leadership structure, and growing cyber threats from China. Hartman defended the dual-hat role, stressing its value for agility and unified national security efforts. On the international front, The ongoing trade war between the U.S. and China has increasingly extended into cyberspace. China has initiated an antitrust investigation into Google and imposed new tariffs and export controls in retaliation against U.S. economic measures. These actions highlight the deepening complexities of cyber diplomacy and the intertwining of economic policies with cybersecurity strategies. Collectively, these events depict a turbulent period for U.S. cybersecurity policy, characterized by internal political disputes, leadership uncertainties, and intensifying international cyber conflicts. The outcomes of these developments will likely have profound implications for the nation's cybersecurity posture and its approach to global cyber diplomacy. A recent study by Mezi, Masachi, and Tuma evaluates the effectiveness of large language models in automating cyber threat intelligence tasks. Using a dataset of 350 real-world CTI reports, the researchers assessed LLMs' performance under zero-shot, few-shot, and fine-tuned conditions. The findings reveal that LLMs struggle with processing full-length CTI reports, exhibiting inconsistencies and overconfidence in their outputs. Even with few-shot learning and fine-tuning, improvements were limited. The study highlights concerns about deploying LLMs in CTI scenarios, emphasizing the need for human oversight due to the critical importance of reliability and confidence in cybersecurity contexts. Researchers at PC Automotive revealed a set of vulnerabilities in 2020 Nissan Leaf electric vehicles that allow attackers to remotely hack the car via its infotainment system's Bluetooth. Demonstrated at Black Hat Asia 2025, the exploit enables spying, like tracking location and recording in-cabin conversations, and physical control of features like doors, lights, and even the steering wheel while in motion. The flaws, now assigned 8 CVEs, were confirmed by Nissan, which pledged ongoing cybersecurity improvements without revealing specific mitigations. A critical vulnerability in the TP-Link Topo H200 Smart Hub exposes users' Wi-Fi credentials due to plain text storage in firmware. Attackers with physical access can extract these credentials, potentially compromising the entire home network. Rated medium severity at 4.4, the flaw affects firmware version 1.4 or earlier. Discovered by Mumbai-based researchers, the issue underscores persistent IoT security concerns. The hub connects and controls smart devices, making the vulnerability a serious risk despite the need for direct device access. Forescout's 2025 Riskiest Connected Devices report reveals routers are now the riskiest devices in enterprise networks, responsible for over half of the most critical vulnerabilities. Device risk overall has jumped 15% from last year. While computers hold the most bugs, routers, firewalls, and ADCs top the list for severity, often exploited as 0 days. The top 20 riskiest device types now include 12 newcomers like point-of-sale systems and healthcare workstations. IoMT devices also carry major threats. Retail leads in risk exposure, followed by finance, government, healthcare, and manufacturing. Over 50% of non-legacy Windows devices across sectors still run Windows 10, nearing end of support. There's also a shift away from encrypted SSH to unencrypted Telnet. Forescout warns modern threats span IT, IoT, OT, and IoMT, demanding broader cross-domain security strategies. Law enforcement in Europe and North America arrested 5 users of the SmokeLoader botnet service during the second phase of Operation Endgame. These individuals used the malware for cyber crimes like ransomware deployment, crypto mining, and surveillance. This marks a shift in enforcement focus from infrastructure to the end users of malware. Europol identified suspects via a database seized from the operation's 2024 first phase. SmokeLoader, active since 2011, remains a potent modular malware, despite earlier takedowns, thanks to cracked versions. It uses sophisticated evasion techniques and encrypted communication to install various payloads. Some arrestees ran small-scale crime-as-a-service operations. Cooperation by suspects has yielded new intelligence. Operation Endgame is ongoing, with Europol launching a portal for tips and updates. Security researchers are countering the threat with custom tools like SmokeBuster. Coming up after the break, my conversation with Anushika Babu from AppSecEngineer. We're discussing creative ways people are using AI. And the folks behind the Flipper Zero get busy. Stay with us. Do you know the status of your compliance controls right now? Like, right now. We know that real-time visibility is critical for security, but when it comes to our GRC programs, we rely on point-in-time checks. Look at this. More than 8,000 companies like Atlassian and Quora have continuous visibility into their controls with Vanta. Here's the gist. Vanta brings automation to evidence collection across 30 frameworks, like SOC 2 and ISO 27001. They also centralize key workflows like policies, access reviews, and reporting, and helps you get security questionnaires done 5 times faster with AI. Now that's a new way to GRC. Get $1,000 off Vanta when you go to vanta.com/cyber. That's vanta.com/cyber for $1,000 off. Are you frustrated with cyber risk scores backed by mysterious data, zero context, and cloudy reasoning? Typical cyber ratings are ineffective, and the true risk story is begging to be told. It's time to cut the BS. Black Kite believes in seeing the full picture with more than a score, one where companies have complete clarity in their third-party cyber risk using reliable, quantitative data. Make better decisions. Reduce your uncertainty. Trust Black Kite. Anushika Babu is Chief Growth Officer at AppSecEngineer. I recently caught up with her to discuss some of the creative ways people are using AI.
So, Dave, the thing is, I think marketing was literally the first chess piece to fall when AI really started becoming very commercial. I think marketing departments started to shrink, especially because a lot of marketing work today, especially in technology and SaaS companies, much like the ones that we are part of, have a lot of fat that can be trimmed, a lot of repetitive tasks. And so I feel like a lot of people kind of fell on that as the very first thing that they wanted to like root out and like cut the fat, so to speak. But I don't think like there was all that much method to the madness right at the beginning. Today, I think people are have taken less of a oh my God, I'm going to lose my job kind of stance, and more of a oh, this is a great tool. I can totally use this to improve my workflows and make markups a little more efficient. And then using it to integrate better visibility between marketing and sales and markups and making it less of a, working in silos kind of thing. For instance, one of the best uses that I have seen lately, I mean, just to kind of give you a problem statement around this issue first, is that the marketing guys are always going to be working in a silo away from sales, and then sales is always working away from mark ops. And then one of the things that I have seen that has brought in an integration like that has never been possible before is just at scale, people have been downloading AI written out sales transcripts of demo calls. And then one of the amazing things that marketing is doing is finding patterns within these transcripts of problems that the customers are facing or objections that are constantly being raised, other competitors that they hadn't thought of, and things like that. And they're finding patterns that were not there before, which, yes, benefits the sales team, but also drives into the marketing material that is put out. So I love that this loop is being closed, which was never quite possible when humans are involved, human egos are involved, and sales doesn't want to give too much information to marketing and vice versa. And this problem has kind of been solved by such a simple thing as just a sales transcript, a demo call transcript that is being written out by AI and pattern finding at scale.
Yeah, that's a really interesting use case. I mean, are you finding that in general this is a companion piece, that these AI tools are helping to take away some of the grudge work that folks have to do that takes up a lot of time, that frustrates them?
Yes, exactly. So, I mean, that's the part that makes it fun, right? Because there does not have to be that much fear around it. It is a tool like anything else. And if you take a step back and really see it for what it is a tool, and it can be used to do amazing things and be able to make you more competitive in a very, very clustered and, a tight kind of market. It can give you a little bit of edge if you look at it correctly.
What are some of the potential perils here? I mean, we've certainly heard about AI platforms hallucinating and things like that. I mean, this sort of thing requires some oversight.
Yeah. So one of the things that I teach in some of my workshops is also don't back your AI into a corner, right? Because it will it will be forced to lie, and it will lie. So one of the things that we did this experiment in one of my workshops was you write out a prompt that basically gives the AI an idea of exactly what outcome you're hoping to get, in the sense that I really hope that this place is, for example, if you were trying to really, really get an outcome from your AI, that a kangaroo uses all four limbs, and you keep pushing at that, right, in your prompt. You say something like, oh, when the kangaroo uses its front four limbs, for example, if you start the prompt that way, you're basically backing the AI into a corner and creating a situation where it will hallucinate and it will give you the answer that you're trying to get out of it. Unfortunately, yes, it does that. So the idea is to learn prompt engineering that's accurate, formatted correctly. There is a right and wrong way to engineer prompts. It has to have a format. It has to have, a context. It has to have an audience for who is going to be using the outcome of that prompt, stuff like that, right? So there's a whole anatomy to a prompt that you have to go around and try not to drop in hints about what would make you happy.
Hmm. For the cybersecurity marketers in our audience, what are your recommendations in terms of getting started with these tools? Where are some of the good places to begin?
I think one of the places that cybersecurity marketers have a lot of difficulty with is content marketing. I feel like that might be the hardest part. One, because a lot of people that you will be working with that are very technical are also very camera shy, and they hate being in front of the camera, and they hate talking, and they hate putting out that kind of marketing content, and the content that requires you to be in some way a little bit exposed. So that kind of bothers them. So one of the things that I found cybersecurity marketers to embrace is something as simple as Descript or one of those tools, right? So basically, it is just a video recording tool which lets you edit by deleting text. That's it. It comes out like a document, and then you edit the document, and that edits the video, which is very useful because a lot of these guys are not going to be video editors per se, but tools like that really do help. I have also found that the simple, just sales transcribing tools, sales demo transcribing tools work really well. I know of marketers who are using Gong a lot, and they use that to get the sales transcripts and be able to identify patterns. I think they also do love the customer survey stuff. So basically, they just get a lot of the most recent surveys that have gone out and just the results of it in like a spreadsheet, convert that into a CSV and upload it to AI. And even when you have like 5,000, 6,000 data points, especially when you have 5,000, 6,000 data points, and you don't want to have to go through all of that in a customer sheet, in a survey sheet. One of the excellent things that AI is able to do is find patterns of displeasure, annoyance that your customers might have, which will come out in surveys. And it can even suggest a better format for a survey the following time, depending on what redundancies are there in that one. Yeah, I mean, there are so many, honestly. It's so good. Another one is the social media scheduling and knowing, social media listening, I feel, is even more important because you're kind of getting the idea of customer sentiment across entire social media channels, which would have been impossible to track in any other way.
I guess it's fair to say that these tools are here to stay.
Yep, they're here to stay. And I mean, I don't think it's wise to imagine that it's a trend. I do think the fear of it is a trend. I do think the hype around it is a trend also in a way. But the overall, the amount of things it is going to change, it's like what the calculator did to math, right? Like everybody has gone up in terms, like as soon as the calculator came out, math became harder because obviously you have that tool. So you can allow for students, for example, to rise to the occasion and just get better at it. It's the same thing with AI. It's another tool that has come out that will change the way marketers market also. And so you just rise to the occasion.
That's Anushika Babu, Chief Growth Officer at AppSecEngineer. What's the common denominator in security incidents? Escalations and lateral movement. When a privileged account is compromised, attackers can seize control of critical assets. With bad directory hygiene and years of technical debt, identity attack paths are easy targets for threat actors to exploit, but hard for defenders to detect. This poses risk in Active Directory, Entra ID, and hybrid configurations. Identity leaders are reducing such risks with attack path management. You can learn how attack path management is connecting identity and security teams while reducing risk with Bloodhound Enterprise, powered by SpecterOps. Head to specterops.io today to learn more. SpecterOps, see your attack paths the way adversaries do. And finally, our neurodiversity desk tells us Flipper devices, the same crew that gave security pros their beloved Flipper Zero, also known as the Swiss Army knife of wireless mischief, is stepping into productivity with a new sidekick, the Busy Bar. But instead of sniffing RF signals, it's blocking distractions like a digital bouncer for your brain. Designed with ADHD in mind, and honestly, anyone who's ever tried writing a report while Slack explodes, Busy Bar brings a hacker's sensibility to focus. It packs a Pomodoro timer, LED display, tactile fidget buttons, and ties into the Busy mobile app to silence alerts, wrangle smart home devices, and beam a big Do Not Disturb sign to the world. Flip into busy mode and your environment auto-tunes. Notifications vanish, blinds drop, and lights dim like it's time to crack a CTF challenge. With Apple and Google Home integration, your workspace becomes your ops center. Coming soon for just $249, because operational security starts with personal focus. And that's the CyberWire. For links to all of today's stories, check out our daily briefing at thecyberwire.com. We'd love to know what you think of this podcast. Your feedback ensures we deliver the insights that keep you a step ahead in the rapidly changing world of cybersecurity. If you like our show, please share a rating and review in your favorite podcast app. Please also fill out the survey in the show notes or send an email to cyberwire@n2k.com. N2K's senior producer is Alice Carruth. Our CyberWire producer is Liz Stokes. We're mixed by Trey Hester with original music and sound design by Elliot Peltzman. Our executive producer is Jennifer Eiben. Peter Kilpie is our publisher, and I'm Dave Bittner. Thanks for listening. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Looking for a career where innovation meets impact? Vanguard's technology team is shaping the future of financial services by solving complex challenges with cutting-edge solutions. Whether you're passionate about AI, cybersecurity, or cloud computing, Vanguard offers a dynamic and collaborative environment where your ideas drive change. With career growth opportunities and a focus on work-life balance, you'll have the flexibility to thrive both professionally and personally. Explore open cybersecurity and technology roles today at vanguardjobs.com.